call with our officers for Mar-a-Lago.
Still 12?
That's what I'm tracking. I'll try to give you like a couple-minute warning.
Okay. Thank you. place. Not right off the right off towards
No, we're just walking these guys out, so.
You mean your way?
I don't know, but
Good afternoon to our stream audience joining us here on WFLA Now, and a special hello to those of you joining us on the WFLA YouTube page. We're coming up on the noon hour Eastern Time, live from Mar-a-Lago here in Florida. We have a couple of views here from the Stream Center. I'm JB Buno. Let's hit the touchscreen here and show you what's going on at one of the entrance and exit points at Mar-a-Lago, where former President Donald Trump is expected to depart from Mar-a-Lago momentarily, head to Palm Beach Airport, where he is going to depart for his arraignment in New York, scheduled to happen tomorrow, Tuesday, April 4th. The arraignment in New York stemming from hush money payments during his 26th campaign, answering to those charges that are historic, obviously, as we've been discussing here with our country. And so we'll continue to monitor, of course, all the feeds that come into the Stream Center. As a reminder, we're here live on all platforms, and the very latest is for you on WFLA.com, the WFLA app. We have feeds from the airport showing you what's currently going on with the Trump plane that is going to be leaving Palm Beach Airport and heading to New York ahead of the arraignment tomorrow. But we're going to stay here with you live from the gate to show you when President Trump departs Mar-a-Lago. We're going to follow the motorcade. And what you'll notice, because we do have the chopper view, and we'll hit this to show you the chopper view. The chopper is going to follow the motorcade, and what you will notice is the streets have been lined with supporters here in the state of Florida. People who have brought out their lawn chairs, brought signs, brought who have really been waiting for at least a couple of hours now for the former president of the United States, to make his journey to Palm Beach Airport, where he's going to depart for New York. People showing signs of support with their signs, quite literally, going to be holding them up during the motorcade as it drives by. That's all expected to occur in the next couple of minutes. President Donald Trump, 45th president of the United States, expected to leave Mar-a-Lago at noon. The time now, 11:59 a.m. Eastern Time. So what we're going to do is we're going to stay here on the shot of the front gate. We should see the Trump motorcade leave from this area, and then we're going to follow that motorcade as it makes its way to Palm Beach Airport, and of course we'll show you our multiple vantage points from the airport as we watch Donald Trump get onto his plane and depart for New York, New York. Again, the very latest on this story on WFLA.com, the WFLA app. As we await the former president of the United States, Donald J. Trump, departing from Mar-a-Lago in his motorcade en route to Palm Beach Airport, where he is going to depart for New York to answer to charges. The arraignment and booking scheduled Tuesday, April 4th, 2023, where he is going to be arriving in Manhattan. Of course, to answer to the charges, turning himself in on Tuesday. He is, again, supposed to leave here in the noon hour as far as departing from the state of Florida. He's going to spend the night at Trump Tower before we're told he's going to turn himself into authorities on Tuesday. He has also called for an event to respond after his arraignment and after the scheduled booking, an event that is going to take place at Mar-a-Lago Tuesday night. So he's going to start here in Florida, fly to New York, answer to the charges there as far as turning himself in, and then following the arraignment, the booking process, he is expected to then board his plane and come back to Mar-a-Lago for an event on Tuesday night. Of course, he is the charges that we're talking about here, charges stemming from the hush money payments made to Stormy Daniels during the 2016 campaign for the White House. What we're going to do for our YouTube audience, we're going to ask a question. You're going to see this question show up just on YouTube Live on the WFLA YouTube page. And we're going to ask a question that you should see pop up now on your device. And the question reads as follows. Does the indictment of former President Donald Trump help or hurt his chances for a 2024 bid for the White House? We'll leave this poll up for the duration of this live stream. And there, of course, has been different thoughts from, different sides of the argument. Whether or not the charges and the investigation and the indictment enhance his chances as far as 2024, or does the criminal situation that he is currently facing impede his ability for the White House? We'll pay attention to the votes that are coming in. Already more than 250 votes being counted on the WFLA YouTube page. And of course, you can chat along here in the WFLA YouTube live comment section. Please keep it kind, considerate, respectful in our comment section. We can agree to disagree. But a very straightforward question that we're asking our YouTube live audience. And I'll read it again. Does the indictment of former President Donald Trump help or hurt his 2024 bid for the White House? Continuing coverage on WFLA.com, the WFLA app. We're moments away, as we understand it, from President Donald Trump, 45th President of the United States. The former president leaving Mar-a-Lago, departing in his motorcade, going to make the trip to Palm Beach Airport. He's going to be greeted by supporters who have lined the street between Mar-a-Lago and the airport. Supporters who have been out for hours with signs, their lawn chairs, their drinks, their food. People who have made it a priority to be there to show support for Donald Trump as he leaves for New York, and the arraignment that is scheduled for Tuesday. So we're going to see the motorcade depart the gate here soon. And then what we will do is we will transition to the aerial shot, the chopper shot, where we'll be able to follow that motorcade all the way to the airport. And then, of course, we have the shot of the plane to show you from that point forward. We're live on WFLA.com, the WFLA app, as well as on the WFLA YouTube page, where we're monitoring your live poll results. The latest on this story on WFLA.com. Again, JB here with you live in the WFLA Now Stream Center, monitoring a lot of feeds coming in from near Mar-a-Lago and, of course, from the Palm Beach Airport. We also have feeds that are coming in from New York, anticipating the arrival of the 45th President of the United States, Donald J. Trump. We have feeds from Trump Tower. We have feeds from outside, of course, the building where he is going to be arraigned tomorrow, April 4th. President Trump expected to surrender himself after, of course, the indictment on the charges stemming from hush money payments during his 2016 presidential campaign. Really unprecedented territory for our country. So the expectation is that Trump is going to be turning himself in tomorrow, but before that, he's going to spend the night at Trump Tower, and that's why there are camera feeds located all over the place, including the one that you're looking at right now from outside the gate, one of the access points to Mar-a-Lago, which of course is a facility that is highly secure, and so there's different access points to the property. This is one of the ones that we're talking about, or we're looking at here. Our camera crews have been moving around the property, not just on the ground, but also maneuvering in the air. Here you can see our chopper view of Mar-a-Lago as well. And so this chopper feed will be able to show us the motorcade as it makes its way from the property to Palm Beach Airport, and you'll see all the supporters that are lining up with their signs of support, letting Donald Trump know that he has support here in the state of Florida. But I want to continuously show everybody the feed of the gate so that when we see the motorcade leave, you can see it here, and then we'll track it, of course, with the helicopter as he makes his way to Palm Beach Airport. We're going to look a little bit more at the live poll results once we get 1,000 votes. And we're getting closer. Right now, we are asking on the WFLA YouTube page, in the YouTube live comment section, does the indictment of former President Donald Trump help or hurt his 2024 bid for the White House, in your opinion? So do you think that that's going to help him in his campaign for 2024, or do you think that that's going to inhibit him from being able to successfully campaign? If you use hashtag HeyJB, I can shout out some comments as well. Rachel in our YouTube live comment section says, hashtag HeyJB, this may give him a bump in the polls among supporters, but I think it will hurt him with independents, and even more so when the other indictments from Georgia and the DOJ come. Overall net loss. That is the opinion of one of our commenters. Perhaps folks agree or disagree. If you use hashtag HeyJB, I can shout out some comments while we're here live on stream, but as a reminder, please keep it kind and as respectful as possible in our comment section. Of course, understand that when we're doing any live streams pertaining to politics, the comment section can get divisive, but it doesn't mean that it has to get nasty by any means. We're going to only spotlight comments that are respectful, and whether or not, of course, it doesn't matter the side of the aisle that you fall on. You can, of course, be respectful in our comment section. We're going to read those comments aloud. That's the first one that I have seen with hashtag HeyJB from Rachel. And when we get to 1,000 poll votes, we'll read through the results of that poll. We're up to 619 as I currently see it here on the WFLA YouTube page. Live continuous coverage on WFLA.com, the WFLA app. here we have the gate opening.
So where are you going to be?
I'm gonna be right here.
Okay. Any second.
For those of you just joining us on WFLA.com, the WFLA app, or on our social media platforms, former President of the United States, Donald J. Trump, moments away from departing his Mar-a-Lago estate for Palm Beach Airport, where he is expected to fly to New York to surrender and answer to the charges being arraigned in New York. Again, on charges stemming from hush money payments to Stormy Daniels during his 2016 presidential campaign.
Was that the second vehicle, Tim?
While the gate has opened and we saw one vehicle depart, of course, the motorcade for the 45th President of the United States will be significantly more than just that one single vehicle. So standing by for that full line of vehicles departing the estate, at which point we will track it, of course, from the chopper that we have in the air above Mar-a-Lago as it makes its way to Palm Beach Airport to depart, expected really within the hour. There have been differing times on social media as to when the Trump plane is expected to take off from Palm Beach Airport, but it is not expected to be that much longer. It's expected to be soon after the motorcade arrives. We should see Trump get out of his motorcade, board the plane, and then it take off soon thereafter. We'll go back live to the gate to show you. Again, we're expecting motorcade for the 45th President of the United States to be departing Mar-a-Lago here shortly. One of our YouTube moderators, Mama Guide, in the YouTube live comment section, saying a lot of comments suggesting he may have left in the one SUV. We have it from reporters that he has not yet departed the Mar-a-Lago estate. And so we do have a view of the airport as well. And we're following, of course. And here we have the first vehicle. And now this is what is believed to be the motorcade for former President Donald Trump. As we see the line of vehicles make its way from the Mar-a-Lago estate, where it is going to carry the former president of the United States to Palm Beach Airport to leave for New York. And in New York on Tuesday, April 4th, the 45th president of the United States will turn himself into authorities after spending the night at Trump Tower. So here we see the line of vehicles in the motorcade. We also have it from the air. We're going to show you that shot momentarily. You will also see the line of supporters, people that have lined the streets waiting to show their support for Donald Trump. We'll go now to the air and show you the chopper feed.
Andrea, this is the motorcade of former President Donald Trump leaving his Florida residence, heading to New York City, where he is set to surrender to authorities to be arraigned on those criminal charges. Andrea, take a listen. Andrea,
As we now switch back to the chopper feed from the stream center, showing you the SUVs heading to Palm Beach Airport as Donald Trump is going to depart in his Trump plane for New York, spend the night in Trump Tower, and then on Tuesday, a unprecedented event for our country. A former president of the United States will be turning himself in on criminal charges, an arraignment that will be taking place. Again, this going back to the 2016 presidential campaign and the allegations surrounding hush money payments by the former president of the United States. Let's show you some of the supporters that have gathered. And now we have the chopper shot back up from the stream center showing you the line of black SUVs that are heading to Palm Beach Airport, where President Donald Trump, 45th President of the United States, will be taking off for New York. On the WFLA YouTube page, we have been streaming now for approximately, we're coming up on an hour, showing you different views from outside Mar-a-Lago. And one of the questions that we asked to our audience joining us there on the WFLA YouTube page, does the indictment of former President Donald Trump help or hurt his 2024 bid for the White House? Once we get to 1,000 votes in that poll, we'll read the results here live. But that is an active, interactive poll on the WFLA YouTube page. And we gave our audience 3 options. Either it helps his chances for 2024, hurts his chances for 2024, or has no impact / or you just don't have an answer for that poll. Or if you're indifferent. Here we see more of the supporters that are lining the streets of Florida, showing their support for the 45th President of the United States. As the chopper zooms in on the vehicle that is believed to be carrying Donald Trump. And you can also see just the array of media that is there on the route between Mar-a-Lago and Palm Beach Airport. A lot of American flags. We've seen a lot of Trump 2024 flags, Make America Great Again hats and flags. As you can see, some of the intersections have been blocked off here to allow the full motorcade to make it through and quickly, expeditiously to the airport. There are those who believe that despite the charges potentially containing legal challenges that would complicate a 2024 bid in different ways, there are some who believe that the indictment catapults the 2024 bid for Donald Trump into the forefront of the American conversation that is taking place about who should be the leader of our country for the next full 4-year term. And some believe that the indictment will give Donald Trump the platform to share his message, his vision for the country, what he thinks should be taking place in this country, and how he believes that he should be returned to the White House, and that this will help him, in essence. Others who believe that, given the unprecedented scenario that we are facing here with a former president of the United States being arraigned, about to be booked, and surrendering himself on criminal charges, given the unprecedented territory that we find ourselves in, that is going to create complications that are going to make it very, very difficult for the former president to be elected to another 4-year term. Of course, other challengers loom, including the current governor of the state of Florida, Ron DeSantis, who, according to reports, is preparing to officially launch his bid in the coming months, the bid for 2024 for the White House. Those, of course, have just been reports based on sources, and whether or not, of course, DeSantis, when he would officially announce his 2024 run or announce that he isn't running, his actual announcement, that timeline isn't exactly clear. But of course, Ron DeSantis does loom as a potential challenger to the former president of the United States, Donald Trump, someone who had put his support behind Ron DeSantis back when DeSantis had run for governor. So as we watch here, the motorcade heading to Palm Beach Airport, good opportunity for us to look at the poll results. We've been asking on the WFLA YouTube page, in a poll over there, does the indictment of former President Donald Trump help or hurt his 2024 bid for the White House? This is your opinion, what you think. Does it help his chances for 2024, or does it hurt his chances for 2024? We have now received more than 1,000 votes, and the results are as follows. Again, we had 3 options on that poll, and the top response was that it helps his chances. 50% of poll respondents, more than 500 poll respondents, in this, again, unscientific social media poll, but it is good for us to get an idea as to how people are feeling out there. More than 50% believe that it's going to help his chances. 37% say hurts his chances. And then 13% don't believe it'll have much of an impact whatsoever. Or they just didn't want to provide an answer to the poll. We gave you a no impact / no answer option on that poll. As we see on that one SUV, this is being documented. That appears to be a camera that is being stuck out of that sunroof there. There you see more supporters. Supporters, without question, in the hundreds, maybe even in the thousands. Here we can see, I'm talking about the entirety of the route in Florida here, outside of Mar-a-Lago. There you can see Trump flags. You can see American flags. Many of them waiting for hours for this moment to see the motorcade go by, and also for their opportunity to show their support for Donald Trump as he leaves for New York. As a reminder, we always encourage our comment section to be as respectful as possible. You can agree to disagree. We have a lot of folks that are joining us on Facebook Live, on YouTube Live, that are either voicing their support for the 45th president of the United States or otherwise. And again, please keep your comments kind and respectful, as respectful as can be. Given, of course, that we have a live stream here that is about politics, and anytime that we're talking about politics on stream, of course, we know that our comment section can get divisive. Just keep it clean, keep it respectful, please, as we monitor the social media comment section across the WFLA Now streaming platform. Let's go to another shot. I believe we have another shot on the ground. Here is the SUVs arriving. Without a doubt, thousands of supporters, we can say, as we see the crowds. And they have been lining really the entirety of this trek between Mar-a-Lago and Palm Beach Airport. And now you can see the airport in the top right-hand portion of your screen. JB here with you live in the Stream Center, folks, as we monitor the transportation of Donald Trump as he is about to board his plane and head to New York, where he is expected to surrender and turn himself in on the charges stemming from the 2016 presidential campaign hush money payments and the allegations surrounding the hush money payments. Unprecedented times for our country. And so as we monitor this developing story, a story that has, of course, national, international implications, and there you can see the supporters that saw the motorcade come by once and now a second time. And we saw that one shot where it was very clear. We have another shot from the air. This is now from the airport property. You can see the Trump plane there in the background. There was the one shot where you could see what appeared to be Donald Trump sticking his hand out of the window of the SUV, showing support for his supporters who have been lining the streets, for many of them, for hours. And there is the plane. And of course, it is not just the former president, Donald Trump, who is going to be boarding this plane. It's really the entire Trump team, all the staff members that assist. And here we see that was a quick shot there of Trump as he walked out. Now we have a different shot. We're going to see a lot of these camera angles switch around. For those of you joining us here on WFLA Now, JB here with you live across all our platforms now, as we see members of the Trump team who are grabbing their luggage and boarding the plane, joining the 45th President of the United States on the Trump plane here as it is momentarily about to depart for New York here from Palm Beach Airport in the Sunshine State in Florida. The itinerary is as follows. Trump is going to land at a New York airport in the hours ahead. The estimated flight time is going to be, people who have traveled between Florida and New York know it's usually anywhere from, it's about 3 to 4 hours or so. Actually, not even really that far, to tell you the truth. I'm used to, of course, going to the airport and all the challenges that regular people face when they go to the airport. It does not take that long of flight time. He'll be there later this afternoon, at which time he will land and be taken to Trump Tower. He's expected to spend the night in Trump Tower and then turn himself in tomorrow, Tuesday, April 4th. There has been some talk as to what the booking process is going to look like and how. There's been a lot because of all the questions that have been asked about. This is, again, the first time that we're having a current or former president in a situation like this. So will it be similar to any other American? Will, as far as the fingerprinting and booking and the release of a mugshot, the publishing of a mugshot, all of these questions are going to be answered. What this process is going to look like as Donald Trump, who was once the commander-in-chief of this country and hopes to be the commander-in-chief for another 4-year term in the future, starting in 2024, will he have the same exact process as any other person, given the unprecedented situation that we find ourselves in? Every legal and political analyst that you could imagine that covers the White House and covers American politics have been offering their take on the situation. Trump facing multiple charges of falsifying business records in this indictment that was handed down by a Manhattan grand jury last week. And let's look at how quick this process is. Just within really 5 minutes or so, the SUVs pull up to the Trump plane. The former president and all of his staff members that are going with him to New York board that plane. All their luggage, everything that they need, taken and put on the aircraft. And we're moments away from the stairs being pulled and the Trump plane taking off for New York, New York. Once we get to another 15, well, once we get to a total of 1,500 votes on the WFLA YouTube page and our live poll, we'll read those results again. As a reminder, it's an informal social media poll. I have to say this every time we run a poll in our comment section. It is not done scientifically as they pull the staircase and get ready for the plane to roll out here. our social media polls are unscientific. They're just gives us an idea as to how our comment section and how our audience is feeling out there. How you guys are feeling on a particular topic. And so we asked on the WFLA YouTube page, does the indictment of former President Donald Trump help his chances or hurt his chances in his 2024 bid for the White House? And the numbers are still fluctuating. If you want to vote, you can do so on the WFLA YouTube page. And really, it's a question that doesn't fall under. It's not a question. You can be a Democrat and think that this is going to help his chances. And there are those on that side of the aisle that think that this is a politically motivated event that is unfolding in New York and think that it's going to help his chances as far as reignite Donald Trump's supporters. And then there are those who fall in a different side of the argument. So it is not necessarily a question that is where each party is going to line politically. You can have, of course, your own opinion regardless of your political affiliation. It's just a matter of whether or not you think this event, this arraignment, the indictment itself, and these charges that have been filed against Donald Trump, if you think it's going to help him or hurt him as far as him trying to get another 4-year term in office as the commander-in-chief, the president of the United States of America. I'm seeing a lot on the Facebook, WFLA Facebook page, who are voicing their support for the indictment. Some commenters on the WFLA Facebook page who are giving their thumbs up, in essence, to the indictment because they think it's going to help the former president's chances of becoming president once again. So there's a lot of different back and forth on this. As a reminder, please keep your comments as kind and as respectful as possible. You can agree to disagree and do so respectfully without being nasty in our comment section. We know how our comment sections get, really comment sections across social media when it comes to politics, especially politics at this level, the highest office in our country. So here we see the plane rolling out. We have another feed here from the ground as well. But we'll stay with the shot from the air. You are watching from Palm Beach Airport on WFLA Now as the Trump plane is leaving the state of Florida, carrying the 45th president of the United States, former President Donald J. Trump, as he leaves his home state of Florida to go back to, of course, his old stomping grounds of New York. But the circumstances unprecedented in American history, as the former president will be turning himself in on charges stemming from hush money payments to Stormy Daniels during his 2016 presidential campaign. He's expected to get situated in New York, spend the night in Trump Tower, and then tomorrow, Tuesday, April 4th, turn himself in on those charges. What the arraignment and what the booking process looks like. Will Donald Trump have a mugshot published? Will, of course, it be as if it were any other American being arraigned? Those questions, of course, will become more clear 24 hours from now. But in the meantime, we have the Trump plane carrying the 45th president leaving Florida, heading to New York in preparation for what will be a historic day tomorrow, an unprecedented event for our country, as a former president will be answering to charges being formally arraigned in New York. As a reminder, Trump is expected to hold an event. He has announced an event back at Mar-a-Lago tomorrow night. So Trump is going to answer to the charges in New York, return to Mar-a-Lago, and there is expected to be an event on Tuesday night. That is an event that we will, of course, have on our website, on our streaming platform here, WFLA Now. Wherever you're watching right now, you'll be able to watch that event too, because it will be the former president of the United States speaking publicly for the first time really since turning himself in on those charges. As we see some of the air traffic and some of what's currently unfolding at Palm Beach Airport, waiting for, in essence, the green light, if you will. Here's a ground shot of the plane itself, waiting for takeoff. And now the plane moving again and getting ready for takeoff from Palm Beach Airport. Here's the ground shot, and here's the one from the air outside of the airport, outside of airport airspace. People are asking in our comment section how it's going to look tomorrow. And I'll share, we are going to find out because of, again, the unprecedented nature of what is going to be unfolding. So the answer to that, the short answer to that, folks, is stay tuned. We don't know exactly how the process is going to. All we can say for certain is that the amount of media attention, the amount of cameras and reporters that are going to be flocking to this event, again, unprecedented in U.S. history, the magnitude will be unparalleled, unlike anything we've really ever seen before. It's going to be, in the media capital of the world, it is going to be one of the most documented events, perhaps, in U.S. history. here we go. The plane is taxiing into position for takeoff. For those who have ever wondered if maybe if you were president of the United States or even a former president of the United States, if you get to cut the line at the airport, I guess not so much. It would appear that a plane that has been nicknamed Trump Force One is waiting just as if it were any other plane, sitting behind a few others. That's what it appears to be, of course, as we're watching here from Palm Beach Airport. The plane has come to a standstill as it waits to get into position for takeoff. And again, every moment of this, as this unfolds, is being documented just because we've never seen anything like this before in our country's history. So Trump departing his home state of Florida to go to New York, where really he built, of course, his real estate brand, a brand that was internationally recognized even before he became president. Going to New York to turn himself in on charges from before the campaign that made him president, or really during the campaign that made him president. We've just never seen anything like this before. So even something as simple as him taking off from the state of Florida is being heavily documented. But really every step of the way, as he makes his way from Florida to New York and then back to Florida for an event tomorrow night, which we're going to stream live as he prepares remarks for the country in response to turning himself in on these charges and being arraigned in New York. All that will be live. We're going to be following this every step of the way, as is just about every other media outlet in the country. This round trip from Florida to New York, back to Florida, for the arraignment that is set to take place Tuesday, April 4th, in a New York courtroom. No former president has ever been indicted. And all of the political aspirations that still exists for Donald Trump, somebody who wants to be reinstated as president or elected back into office as commander-in-chief, facing now this indictment. We're talking about, again, a word I keep using, but it is a word for the moment. It is unprecedented because of the legal and political implications that exist for a former president who is seeking another term as president and now being indicted on criminal charges. But we go back to our question that we've asked on the WFLA YouTube page. We're going to let the final 100 votes come in here. On the WFLA YouTube page, we have asked you, do you think the indictment of former President Donald Trump helps or hurts his chances in his 2024 bid for the White House. We announced the votes at when we got to 1,000 votes. This is an unscientific social media poll. We are very well aware of that, but it's a good temperature check, if you will, on our comment section, on you, our audience, wherever you're watching from, just to get an idea as to how our current live audience feels about this moment in time and whether or not they think that the current situation, the unprecedented legal situation with Donald Trump turning himself in, whether or not that is going to help him as he embarks on this quest for the White House again, or if it is going to hurt his chances because of the legal and political implications that are to follow and are really already being, I mean, the ripple effect from this event is, of course, being felt and it's reverberating across the political spectrum. As we await the Trump plane taxiing into position. And yes, look, like any other plane, waiting its turn, no cutting the line, taxiing into position on the runway ahead of takeoff for New York. So as of right, and I think 5 more votes, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have now just hit 2,000 votes on the WFLA YouTube page, where we asked you, our audience, in an unscientific social media poll, do you think the indictment of former President Donald Trump helps or hurts his 2024 bid for the White House? And the top answer was helps his chances with 49% of the vote. 36% was second with hurting his chances. And then 15% of you said it would be no impact or you don't have an answer one way or the other. So not a majority, but about half of our audience thinks that this is going to help his chances in 2024. While a little more than a third believe it's going to hurt his chances, and then the rest believe that it won't really have much of an impact at all. As now the Trump plane has taxied into position, we'll wait for air traffic control to give the go-ahead for takeoff. And we'll watch as, for the last time before turning himself in, President Trump, 45th President of the United States, will be here in Florida before, of course, his arraignment on charges in New York. Let's listen. And just like that, the 45th president of the United States, Donald Trump, in the air, headed for New York, where he's expected to spend the night tonight in Trump Tower, and then tomorrow, Tuesday, April 4th, turn himself in on the charges, of course, stemming from his 2016 presidential campaign, the hush money payments to Stormy Daniels, the allegations that surround, of course, the lead up, of course, to the election in 2016. We're, of course, going to have coverage across all of our platforms on WFLA.com, the WFLA app. But before we go, important reminder, the 45th president of the United States, Donald Trump, is going to be circling back to Florida and returning to Mar-a-Lago for an event on Tuesday night. He is going to be speaking, and as we understand it, he's going to be addressing the American people, delivering remarks for the first time since, of course, the expectation that he's going to turn himself in tomorrow. So that, of course, is going to be an event that a lot of people are going to be listening in for and wanting to watch and listen in for. That is going to be an event that we're going to carry across all of our platforms. It'll be on WFLA.com, the WFLA app, wherever you're watching right now, whether it's on social media, maybe you're on Facebook or YouTube or another platform, or if you're on our website or app, wherever you're watching from right now, you'll be able to watch the future event of Trump's remarks in Mar-a-Lago. One more time. Wow, our photojournalist doing a great job on the ground, still getting a shot of the plane, even though it has taken off for quite some time. Check that out. That's really outstanding camera work from the ground, being able to zoom in on a tiny, itsy-bitsy moving object in the sky as we see the plane now go behind a cloud. And I don't know if it's going to be back within view after it reemerges on the other side, but I thought that we were done seeing the plane. I think now, yeah, we can officially say it is out of view, at least from the cameras on the ground here at Palm Beach Airport. And now, of course, yes, there will be some online who are going to track the plane's progress as it makes it from Florida to New York, probably in a couple of hours, I would imagine. The plane will land in New York. And, of course, that will set the stage for what is to unfold tomorrow, an extremely busy day with the arraignment set to take place, what exactly the booking process will look like, and whether or not the mugshot will come out. So many questions still exist out there. We're going to be tracking it every step of the way on WFLA.com, the WFLA app, all of our respective platforms, as well as live streaming the 45th president of the United States, Donald Trump's remarks from Mar-a-Lago. I believe that it begins in the 8 o'clock hour Eastern time on Tuesday night. So we'll, of course, be live streaming that. And anybody who wants to listen in, there are supporters of President Trump who are going to want to listen into that event. People that aren't supporters of the former president that are going to want to hear what he has to say. So we're going to be live streaming that across all of our platforms. And you can follow along for updates on WFLA.com, the WFLA app. Thanks so much for joining us here in the Stream Center. This will conclude our coverage. Any questions, of course, you can put them in the comment section here below, but really your one-stop shop, if you will, for everything that you need to know about what is unfolding with the former president of the United States. You can find it right now on WFLA.com, the WFLA app. From the Stream Center, I'm JB Buno. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time on WFLA Now.